Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of Pros and Extra together with me, Fanatic Harstem. In the first episode I played 2 games. This episode I will play a few more and we'll see how it goes. But let's directly jump into the first game that I will be playing on Harstem Stronghold against TT Seed Preps. TT Seed being the Academy of Root Gaming, I believe. And playing on Harstem Stronghold, which is one of the bigger maps in the map pool. And also one of the older maps in the map pool. I think we've had it, I think this is the second or the third season we had this one in. And it produced some great games. I personally am a big fan of this map in CVP because it's so big. Anything that the Zerg can throw at you will take a lot longer to arrive at your front door. Because of this reason, I think it's very normal to see stuff like Phoenixes being played. As with Phoenix builds, it's very difficult to stop some timing pushes, but because of the length of the map, it makes it a bit easier. Phoenixes, early thirds for the Protoss, very greedy play in general. Early Nexuses, late gates, late forges. So I'm gonna be going for a Nexus first on this map because it's so big. I'm going to be following it up with a gateway. I will be scouting after my gateway this time because the natural is on a rather weird location. It's in base, so it's very safe, very easily defended. So I can get my gateway and then the scout after that. What you always want to do at the start of the game is set all your probes to the nearby patches. So as you can see, there's 2 nearby patches on this map. And I guess this one, the bottom one, is also kind of nearby. You want to send your probes over there so they mine a bit quicker. Every advantage that you can get is an advantage that you always should take. Especially if it's an easy one, like just sending probes to the nearby patches rather than the faraway patches. So here we go, gonna get my Nexus first going. Now my gateway, I'm not sure if I already told him good luck, no. So I do it now. And after this, chrono boost on your probes. You want to get your pylon on 17 as quickly as possible so you don't get supply blocked after. You can use your buildings to SimCity. I did not do that in this game, but you can do it. Build them behind your mineral line in case of an early pool. Makes it a bit easier to defend. So here we go. Want to get your gases as soon as possible as well, because you want to get that gas going. Oh, forgot to send out my scout. No biggie, no biggie. Still should be able to see everything. Unless it's a very early pool, then it might be a bit of an issue, but I still should be fine. So. Thing I like to do is get my cyber core behind here. Maybe I can build a building over there as well, kinda hide it. Or I can tuck a zealot in here against early pool defense or whatever. So lots of possibilities of things you can do with your buildings. To hide them, to basically do whatever you want. You could even hide something in one of the other bases if you scout them first, like hide a Dark Shrine or whatever. I'm not gonna do it this game, thought about it, but I'm just gonna be playing Phoenix into a rather quick forge. And I think I'm gonna follow it up with something like Charge Lot Archon. After you build the initial buildings in your main base, you want to start a wall at your natural ramp. Even though the wall isn't too big, it's still very important to have that wall. And we see my opponent went for 3 hits before pool. I want to see if he has any gas at all. And no gas. So he's going to be playing rather greedy. He's going to have a lot of minerals. And he won't be able to put on any pressure. Because of this, I'm going to take an earlier third instead of going for my planned Phoenix. I'm just gonna take a third, maybe go a Stargate after it. I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna play another Sentry, Forge, maybe even 2 Forges, but I'm not a big fan of that normally, so might not do that after all. So here we go, Forge. He gets the scout in the base. You normally want to prevent that, but my units were not in position. Might try to take down one of my probes, but As long as you micro correctly, you should never be able to do that with 2 or 4 links. With 6 links it's gonna be a bit more difficult, but even then still should not be possible. Oh, that was a bit poor unit positioning. No biggie, no biggie. He doesn't have speed, he can't really do anything. And now he gave up on his Zerglings. Gonna start my +1. Gases. And soon I'm gonna have to transfer to my natural. A thing you always want to do against Zerg is walling your cannon. You also want to do this against Protoss once you take your third, so Zealot run-bys can't kill anymore, but especially against Zerg it's a very common thing to do, and I think it's very, very good as well. So definitely something I would recommend to anyone. Because he saw my early base, he decided to go... Ah, I know what he's doing. So this is double link upgrades, which requires a certain reaction from me. And that reaction would be quick +3 with charge, and then probably with Archons as well. And do some kind of timing push with a warp prism with it. I think that would be the best thing to do. However, another thing that you want to do, because he's playing rather greedy, we saw it, we scouted it, he's taking his fort at like 7 minutes. You want to put on some pressure so he can't drone forever. On this map, especially in crisp position, it's a bit hard to do it properly, but just walking on the map, forcing a few units should be enough to at least scare him. Just gonna scare away this Overlord as well. Don't want him to see everything. I don't mind him seeing some things, but of course you want to always deny as much scouting as possible. So, getting my Twilight. Oh, this was a big mistake. Losing that probe, that is. Oh, luckily my force fields are still good enough to catch all of those Zerglings and save my own units from dying, so to say. Here we go, I have a decent force, I do have +1, and he does not have any upgrades yet, he only has links, so this is gonna be rather hard for him to hold. Oh. +1 Zealots are very good against links without upgrades, and we're seeing that right now. If he doesn't have any roaches coming right now, or something that can kill them, or if his upgrades are very close, then he might actually be in a bit of a pickle. Because I'm coming rather soon with a lot of units, and this isn't even my real push. Like, this push is only meant to force some units, it isn't meant to kill. And I have a feeling that it might actually be killing him. Which of course would be very fortunate for me. But would not be a very good example for my game. Okay, so now that he built roaches, I should get at least a few immortals to be safe against them. Roaches are good, but they're kind of on a timer. Roaches are only good for a certain amount of time, and after that they become horrible. Once you have 3 or 4 immortals, they don't really do much anymore, especially combined with good force fields. I don't have too many sentries, but I think I have sufficient sentries to stop any kind of roach timing or some kind of big roach push. So yeah, first immortal is out right now. Here come quite a few roaches. Let me see how well I will be able to deal with it. He seems to keep on sending more roaches, which is rather odd for me. I think he's gonna follow it up with Muras. Normally when you see roaches like this, and just roach link, no real tech with it, you're gonna see Muras with it, especially if he has a lot of gas, which he obviously has. He does have a lot of gas. So let me see, where are you, my probe? Did it die again? Oops. We're gonna have to send another one. Oh. Oh, he's going for Swarm Host. So at least I know what he's doing right now. That's always a good thing to know. But that means I'll also have to change my plan a little bit. Swarm Host, a rather annoying unit. Gonna go for a fort base as soon as possible, as that's what you want to do against Swarm Host. And I want to deny creep as well. Do I already have an observer? No, I don't. Do I want to get one? Yes. You really want to get an observer because you want to deny creep. You want to get a prism out as quickly as possible as well. You're gonna send it over there. Gonna send my observer to my main army. Gonna try to deny any kind of 5th base because I don't want him to have that. I want to keep him on 4 base. Preferably even on 3 base, but that's gonna be rather difficult for me. So yeah, I checked. He doesn't have anything there. I don't think he can engage, and I don't think he should try to engage, to be honest with you. Okay. Oh. He's going for some kind of base trade, which won't be the right decision for him, because I'm warping in a lot of units right now at his side of the map. He's gonna lose all of his roaches. Well, that's the plan. And the moment he's on my side of... Oh, I guess he's returning right now. But the moment he's on my side of the map, I can kind of just kill a base. Oh, here we go. Or deny some creep. And in this case, I think I'll be able to do both. Oh. You really gotta be careful, because if you get hit a few times by Locust, you might just lose your complete army. They're very strong like that. However, a good thing you can do... Ooh. A little run by from him. But a good thing you can do is multitask against it from one side to another, because they're so extremely slow and they're really static. So the thing you want to do is just kind of out multitask your opponent and then eventually go into Mass Tempest. Yeah, well, of course if they have enough spores it gets a bit more difficult. Ooh, going into Double Spire, I'm not sure what's up with that. But yeah. It's a bit bad by him, a bit unlucky as well, but this might just cost him the game, losing this many. If it's your main unit. Oh, what are you doing here, buddy? Yeah, so just getting my upgrades. Want to get +3 as quickly as possible as well. Want to kind of keep on scouting for what your opponent is doing. And I think it would be a wise idea to get a few Stargates right now, as I did see Double Spire. And he could, of course, still make a transition to something weird like that. Actually, I'm kind of happy with the army I have right now, so I can just take a 5th base, get a lot of gas, get a lot of prisms, get some harassment going, just play it safe, probably get some kind of fleet beacon as well for Phoenix range, just in case he decides that's his plan, the thing he wants to do is Muras. Then Phoenix range is a very welcome upgrade that might win you games. So gonna add a fleet beacon and a second cyber core. Always get a lot of cannons in case of run-bys from your opponent. You don't want to defend run-bys with zealots normally, unless you can see them coming this easily. Oh, he's gonna lose a few workers now. And he's gonna lose a base. So I think, but so am I, so that's, I guess, okay for him. I should have warped in some DTs earlier, because DTs are very good at defending bases. Here we go, perfectly defended. Want to deny some of the creep and start building Tempest. Here's my observer. I was wondering where it was. Always want to be sure to not, like I said earlier, to not get caught by those guys. Oh, here come corruptors. So that's a rather weird decision. Okay, I don't think I can defend this with only cannons, so I'm gonna have to teleport home. And I will add a few more cannons for the future. Gonna need some zealots here as well, and a lot of cannons. Yeah, so I still want to keep him on 4 base, and then if I can get to 5 bases, even if he can or kills this one, I think I'm still in a relatively good position. Because he doesn't have a lot of money. I can deny creep again right now. You want to get opportunities to deny your opponent's creep. I think that's a very important thing, a very underrated thing. So you can create those opportunities yourself rather easily. So I'm going to his creep right now, and at the same time I'm sending in this. So, ooh, actually I'm catching a ton of swarm host. He was out of position. Now he's gonna lose at least something, either creep or his base. And even though losing creep is important, I think losing a base is more important. It's not something you want. So just gonna keep on walking around the map. He doesn't have anything up right there. Ooh, I forgot about my prism with a 2 High Templar, so that's nice. Or well, it's not nice that I forgot about it, but it's nice that I still have it. Gonna get a new prism as well. Just gonna keep on producing Tempest, because in the end Tempest is really what's gonna win you the game. Anything but Tempest can do a lot of damage, but against a good enough player it will never win you the game. So here you go. Storm, 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 storm. And I killed about 35 drones. Just gonna leave it here and hop, go up. Same time killing this base. Gonna deny some creep with DTs at the same time. And free swarm host, another free swarm host. And back. You don't want to stay too long. I don't want to trade away my army either. Not yet, at least. I'm first gonna need at least some more, a bit bigger bank, I guess. Okay, here we go. Maybe I'll be able to get one for free. Little Ling run bys like this is what really is annoying. Okay. Just denying some more creep. Making sure he doesn't have any other bases, and he basically has no shot at winning anymore. He might not know it yet, or I guess he already knows, because he isn't stupid. Like, he doesn't have any creep, he doesn't have 5 bases, I'm getting my 5th base, getting my Tempest transition ready, gonna go up to 6. 6 target I think is a good number. I have all my bases secured with cannons, and realistically there's nothing, or there should be nothing, that he can do to make himself win. And all I gotta do is just scout if there's no hidden bases and deny the 5th base every single time he makes it. I'm a bit surprised that he isn't getting an overseer with his army. Ah, here we go. Soon I'm gonna actually sacrifice my army, because I got enough of this army and I want to win. And as you see, a lot of people always say that against Swarm Host it's gonna be 1-hour games, but I think I'm gonna be able to finish it relatively soon, actually. I'm gonna make a small run by again here. Well, small. And once I lose those, I'll just start producing a ton of Tempest from my 6 target. My upgrades are almost ready. I have 3-3 on the way right now. Okay, so I bait him with his Locust to come there. And then I just right-click this base. Yeah, I can lose my army now, it's fine. So I'm kind of giving him my army. I killed one more base, which is nice. I don't want him to take this base, so I send a DT there. I'm gonna send... let me see. DT over here in case he wants to take that base. I'm gonna sacrifice those units. Gonna send this one home. Make it a mothership core once it arrives home. In general, you can play it rather slow. Another thing I want to do is start sacrificing my probes. And there's two ways you can do it. You can send it to your opponent, or you can kill it yourself with your own units. And I prefer doing that because then he doesn't know that you're killing them. So he doesn't know that you're switching. And then you might actually be able to catch him off guard. Another important upgrade is the Phoenix speed. It is rather hard to... sorry, it's rather hard to see everything that's happening on the map with one Phoenix. So you want to get like a few Phoenixes, but even then it's hard. And you want to be able to follow your opponent's units just right, and Phoenix speed allows you to do that. So here we go, just gonna kill all my own probes. Oh, there's a few more that I want to die. Or well, I guess I can send those to the gases over here. And I think very soon he will know that it's kind of game over. The thing you want to have is just an air army. And if you have a very big air army, there's really not that much he can do. Just pure air, and maybe you want to add a few Void Rays. Or you can add 4 Templars in a Prism. I like to do that myself quite a bit. So I'm gonna do that now. Now again. Oh, look, let me see if he's paying attention. He was not paying attention. So I got about 20 drones again. And maybe... well, how many was that? Maybe like 3 Vipers. So the game is very much over. And all I gotta do right now is be sure that he can't base trade with his Tempest. I'm gonna rally some Void Rays after this. Reinforcement pilot, even though not very necessary, it's maybe nice to have. Oh no! No way. Ah well, I'm gonna be fine. But this was not the perfect plan, guys. Yeah, GG being called. I could have still lost if I... that's why you don't clump your air units. Alright, so I'm just gonna go search for the second game right now. I think it should be... I hope it will be on one of the new maps, maybe Merry-Go-Round or King Sejong, as those are 2 of my favorite new maps. I don't like Waystation too much. Yeah, but King Sejong is very good, I would say so. Last game that I played was quite easy. Cross position alters him, and then if your opponents get swarmos, you have so much time to react to everything. And I feel like it isn't the best option. Unless you play it with Nidus, then it's a lot better. But if you don't play it with Nidus, then it gets a bit harder. And he didn't play it with Nidus. He wasn't even able to get a 5th base for that matter. So this game gonna be on Frost. It's an old map. And it's gonna be PvZ again. On Frost normally you would open Forge Expand and Double Scout. In case your opponent goes for an early pool, whether that be 9 pool or 6 pool, you want to know it. You want to see it coming. If you don't see a 9 pool coming and you're doing Nexus first, you might just instantly lose the game. You want to send a probe, you want to rally a probe to your next row if you do Force Fast Expand. Just kind of let it patrol there, walk around, whatever you want to do. Build a pylon. Be sure you know how you want to wall. on every map. Otherwise, you might get in trouble. If you don't know how the wall is and you leave a gap unintentionally and you only realize once the guy runs by with zerglings or whatever, then that is no good. Just scouting at 9. Gonna poke in. You don't want to completely go into the main base because that wastes time and then he can see your probe. What you want to do is you just poke up, see if there's creep. If there's no creep, you go away. If there is creep, you hide your probe. And you hide your probe because if he goes hatchery first, you don't want him to know that there is a probe that can cannon his bases. So here goes the second probe as well. Gonna poke at the watchtower in case he's sending his links early, then you have a 5-second head start. So let me see. No hatch first over there. Maybe he's going pool first. Okay, so he isn't located over there. You can send this probe back, or you can send it over here in case there's a hatch first over there. And there is a hatch first over there, so that's what I'm gonna do. Need to know your cannon spots, of course, and your pylon spots. You want to build when you cannon rush, you want to build as little pylons as possible. And you would love to just build cannons because you want to save minerals. Okay. Your first cannon should start around 1,000, I would say. Because then your cannon will finish after his hatch finishes. Ooh, it's getting gas. So I gotta be careful of that. But I think I should be fine. I think I can even get a Nexus right now because he isn't pulling any drones. He did not scout. So I can just get a second cannon over here, then get a pylon, get a cannon over here, or even over here. Then wall off properly with pylons. There we go. I want to scout with this probe what he's doing exactly. Like he could be getting lots of links, he can be getting spines or whatever. So you see drones, okay, spine, probably a second spine with that guy. So then I want to get another cannon, a third cannon. You always want to have one more cannon, then he has spines. You can do some damage before the links are out. Even if it's just 50 damage, it might help you a lot in a cannon rush scenario. So got a few free links, which is always good as well. Oh. The follow-up is just making sure that you're not gonna die. Because of the cannon rush, I'm in a very good position. Want to have at least one probe in the wall. Or well, you want to have one probe in the wall. He's gonna try to stop me from getting the cannons up, but I think it's gonna be rather useless for him. I could just target the hatch as well, in case I think I won't make it, but I think I should be fine. Gonna get your gases up, more units. I'm gonna scout for extra bases, and I want to make a scout to the main base right now to see what it's doing there. If I don't see you, actually first I want to check if he has another base. If he doesn't have another base, then I probably won the game already, which I think is what happened. Yeah, so he doesn't have another base. All I have to do right now is defend. Gonna get a second cannon, gonna get a zealot immediately. I know that he does have gas, so it could be Baning Bus, could be Roach. Gonna have a probe patrol in your main base. He is rebuilding it, but that should be no problem. I'm very far ahead, I feel like. So, just gonna try to send my probes to do some to get some scouting info. Should try to not get supply work. Oh. Links in the base is never a good thing. Never a good thing, so that's a small mistake, but still should be fine. Be sure to micro your probes correctly. Don't want to lose any unnecessary probes. So now with the mothership core out, I should be in a great position to take this game. His expo hasn't even finished yet. I'm already starting my sentry right now. Lost one probe. Losing one probe against speedlings I think is fine. The delayed mining time is a bit more annoying, but I'm still fine with that. Well, there's many follow-ups you can do after this. If you keep the pylons alive, it's good to do some +1 zealot pressure, with or without Stargate, because you have another proxy pylon already set up that he can break, because there's probably cannons with it. So that's always a good thing to have. If your pylons die, I think just getting an earlier third than your opponent is something that I would always advise as well. Be sure to not die against something stupid though, like Hydra Knight or something, so gets a sufficient amount of gates out. Try to get pylons to spot around your base. Just be very careful, because you know your opponent is behind, and if you play it out properly, there should be no way that you lose. Like I also said in the last game, you always want to wall in your cannon at your third base. It's very important. And as soon as possible, I want to send a hallucination scout, check for his thirds, and then, or well, I guess in this case maybe flying into his main base immediately will be a bit better than first going for his thirds to see if they're there. I really want to know what he's doing. And I guess the best way to find that out would be with an hallucination. Gonna get a robo. So gotta be careful with my hallucination. Okay, so he's getting an Evo chamber. He already has a Roach Warren. 2 gas only. So I think I'm in a very good spot. My +1 is almost finished. So I will be exactly 1 upgrade ahead. His third, however, is already finished as well. So I'm still probably ahead in eco. But he's not that far behind in eco. My real advantage is in the upgrades and tech. So I want to abuse that advantage even more by forcing low tier units out of him instead of drones. So maybe I can get ahead in eco as well. And once I'm ahead in everything, it's basically a 1 game. Right now I'm in a very good position, but if you want to win the game, you need to do some more moves. So just clearing this watchtower forces him to make units. If he doesn't do it, he might die. He doesn't know how many gates I have behind this. I might have 10, I might have 6, and a robo and tech going on. He should be able to scout it now though. This should give him a bit of a safe feeling. Gonna add a 7th gate as well. That's normal infrastructure. 1 robo, 7 gates, Twilight. Robo. After this first immortal, I really do want to get... Oh, don't want to lose that code. Stutter step with the sentry is always good. If you have a lot of sentries and a lot of energy, a thing you can do is scout forward with a hallucination, see how big his army is, see where his army is. Like, I don't want to push into this. If I would have just walked, I could have been forced to use a recall, could have been forced to... he might have even killed like 1 or 2 sentries before I recalled, so... Always try to scout before you move in, and stay on the edge of the creep. It's so much easier to force field off of when he's off of creep. You have so much more time. It's harder for him to bait out force fields. Just an easier time in general. So I want to deny some of his creep, then just go back. I'm just gonna keep on doing this, and in the meantime I'm gonna be teching behind this. So I keep on scaring him, making sure that he has enough units, and I keep on scouting with my hallucinations. The moment I see weakness, I will go for it, but I see 1 gas not taken, so he is on very poor saturation right now. The rule normally is 4 gas is Roach Max, and 5 gas normally is either Roach Hydra or Roach Burrow move. If he has less than 4 gas, then he's super ON, but you see he only has 4 gas right now, so I'm in a very good spot. All I really have to do is defend, so there's no real initiative for me to attack. I can just be tacking up, just standing here, keeping a good position, and he needs to get rid of those roaches eventually. Like, he can't actually win battles with 200 against 200 because my army is simply gonna be better, and that's something I'm doing right now. I'm kind of baiting him into making a really bad army, or an okay army for the short term, but a horrible army for the long term. And the moment I hit max and I have a lot of sentries, I can just kind of kill him. And that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna wait for 1 or 2 more war pins and He might even attack into me because he knows he's on the timer. And he sees my army now and he's like, wow, that guy has a lot of stuff. And if I just force field properly, there should be no way for me to lose this. And it wasn't the best force field, but I'm pretty sure this is enough. I think I lost like 5 supply and he lost about 55 or 60. So just gonna set a few new force fields while killing his spines. Okay, and here we go. Hop. Putting him in a little box. I used to think that putting down force fields very quickly would be the best thing, but I noticed that if I do it with a bit more patience and a bit slower, that I hit them way more precise, and it also feels like I miss less forces, like no overlapping, and I get better at it in general. Just feels a lot better, and well, you know you've done something well if your opponent is whining about your race. This guy definitely isn't happy playing against Protoss, I see. But as long as the victory screen pops up, you should be happy. Thanks for watching the second episode of Pros in Action with me, Fanatic Harstem. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/FanaticHarstem, or follow, like me on Facebook, facebook.com/Harstem. This was it for now. I might do some more episodes in the future. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the other content on bonjwa.de. Thanks.